What's up, guys? Jared here, Paintbrush Samurai. Today, I'm gonna walk you through the two paths in life. All right, there's only two. You get to choose which one you do. Totally up to you. And those paths are basically A and B. All right, that's it. A and B. All right. I'm gonna give you an example of two different people walking those paths. All right, now in A, we're gonna have Joe. He's average Joe. He's taking the average path, path A. Everybody takes this path for the most part, about 90% of people at least. All right, then there's path B. All right, we're gonna have Goku. Okay, Goku takes path B. And we're gonna see and compare these two individuals as they go through the two possible options of living your life. All right. Now, the first path for Joe is part A. Like I mentioned, 90% of people take this route. So you will have a lot of people with you on your journey in Route A. In fact, pretty much almost every single person you encounter will be along path A. Now, what does a typical day look like for average Joe? Well, he wakes up about 8 o'clock. He went to bed about 10:30 at the last night, so he got a good solid 9 or 10 hours there. He goes downstairs and he pours himself a bowl of Honey Nut cereal with some 2% milk because he's trying to watch his figure, doesn't want whole fat milk. So, he eats that cereal and maybe he makes himself a coffee. He watches some TV, reads the newspaper. Then he has to take a shower, get ready. He goes to his job, which he hates. He goes there. He's there from 9 till 5. And he's mostly semi-productive, not doing a whole lot. Spends a lot of time talking trash on the boss. That guy is a real dick. And he really likes to ride Joe more than anybody. It's not even about productivity. He just has a thing out for Joe. So he just takes it out on him. And Joe has to suffer with that, but he doesn't really care. Joe gets paid pretty well. Joe's been lucky because he's never been poor in his life. He never will be poor in his life. He also won't be rich, but he's kind of accepted that fact, and he's totally okay with making average income, and he's content with that. So he gets off at 5. Maybe he goes out, has a drink with the boys, whatever. They all talk about how much they hate work and how much they just want to quit their jobs, but they don't ever do anything. They just talk about it. They just talk shit for like an hour or two. He goes home, and his kids are waiting there for him, and they barely even notice when he walks in the door. They're playing video games. They don't give a shit. His wife's there. She's she's not a real looker. She's all right. So she's there, and she's watching TV. So he's like, hey, what do you want to do for food? She's like, I don't know, what do you want to do? After about a 15-minute debate, they finally decide to go pick up some Mickey D's, and, they bring it home, they feed it to their children, and they all eat McDonald's, and it's pretty bomb, some hot and spicy, some french fries, sweet tea. Pretty good meal. They enjoy it. And, and then he, wakes up and does it all over again. And this cycle repeats for pretty much the next 75 years until Joe dies. So that is Route A. Okay, it's very stagnant. It's very safe. It's very secure. You don't experience things like poverty. You don't experience things like loneliness. You have many people on you in your mission. All right. You don't become wealthy generally. But like I said, you're not poor, so that's good. You usually are very stagnant. You stay in one place. You got one house and you're locked into a mortgage which takes 50 years to pay off. But you travel every year for 2 weeks, so that's pretty good, right? That's path A. All right, path B. All right, path B. You don't work 9 to 5. You pretty much your job is pretty much 24/7. You now are your job. You could expect quite literally 12 to 16 hours of working every single day. And you sleep about 5 hours a day, okay? So Goku wakes up at about 5. Goku wakes up about 5. He does, drinks a cappuccino, goes to the gym, busts out a nice Spartan-like workout, 45 minutes. Goku is he's pretty ripped. All right. he comes home and he gets right to studying. You know, I don't know what he's studying. You know, he owns his own business, so he's got a lot of work to do. Okay, he's kind of behind, so he starts studying up on some, you know, some building designs that he's got to study up. Maybe he kind of runs his own. He builds businesses, quite literally, physical properties. So he starts studying up on that. He does that for a couple hours, and then you know, takes a break. His kids and his wife wake up about this time. It's about, you know, 9 o'clock. He's already hit the gym. He's already taken a contrast shower. He's already studied for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and he decides to have breakfast. So his girlfriend gets up, or wife, and you know, she takes care of the kids, and she cooks bacon and eggs, his favorite. Same thing that they eat every single day, and it's not a chore because he loves bacon and eggs. That's Goku. He eats just about anything, and bacon and eggs right at the top. So you know, he has a nice hearty meal of breakfast with his family. They all enjoy talking to him. He spends as much time at the breakfast table as he wants, and then he pretty much goes right back to business. Okay, his girlfriend, who looks pretty damn good, by the way, she takes care of the kids, she takes them to school, and maybe she runs some errands for the day. I don't know what kind of errands she's got to do, but she's got to do what you got to do. Now, what is upsetting about Goku's life is there's not a lot of people to relate to. Alright? Before Goku achieved any of his success that he has going now, no one believed that he could make it. Everybody thought he was a fool. Everybody thought he was crazy. Everybody's wondering why he's working like a maniac without seeing any results in the meantime. And there was not a lot of people who could relate to him. So Path B is a really lonely lifestyle. Not only are you in only the 10% of people who are selecting this type of lifestyle, but this lifestyle requires you to become your own person. Be your own man. Make your own decisions. Have your own opinions on things. It's really difficult to do, and not a lot of other people are doing it. So it's a pretty lonely lifestyle. Now, Goku also went through some hard times. Okay, he's not like Joe. He has experienced being poor. In fact, he experienced it quite frequently. But he believed that hard times created strong men. And now, today, he is a better man because of it. Because of going through those hard times. And he's also learned how to survive with less, right? Goku doesn't watch TV anymore. In fact, he has a nice house, but he doesn't even own a TV. He doesn't own an Xbox. He doesn't own a PlayStation. He doesn't play video games. He doesn't read the newspaper every morning. He really has had to cut out all of these luxuries because he lived in a point in time when he couldn't afford these luxuries. He was searching, trying to make a dime just to feed himself the next day. Now, because of it, he finds no need for these video games, for Twitter, for Instagram, for television, for anything. He just lives very Spartan, you know, and he still lives pretty luxuriously, you know. So, continuing with Goku's day. He spends his day pretty much working on it. Whatever he's working on. He's working on his business. He's working with other clients. He's driving around. He's meeting people. He's talking with people. He's meeting new people, alright? Today he has a conversation with a fella. He's got to go to China. Right? He's got, like, there's a huge opportunity for him. He's got to go to China next week. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. They booked the plane ticket right there. Next week, he's going to be spending a few days in China because that's what he's got to do to further the business. So, you know, he goes home after meeting with a lot of clients, and it's time for dinner. He gets home, and luckily his girlfriend's already grocery shopped. Those are the errands she was running earlier. He's like, oh, okay, convenient. And she's cooked a nice dinner, all right? Steak, asparagus, sweet potatoes. Very nice. Some cinnamon on top. Real bomb meal. You know, she's dressed in something kind of revealing. You're like, okay, I enjoy that. His kids, they come home, you know, from private school or whatever. They come in, they sit down. They're all happy to see their dad. They talk together. They spend nice quality time together. They talked about what they did that day. They're all curious to what he was doing that day. What was Goku doing that day? Where were you, Dad? Oh man, you met that guy? Oh, I love that guy. That guy's awesome. What? You created that? We're gonna build a new building? What? You're going to China next week? That's fantastic. They're so interested and engaged in what he has to say. He challenges them mentally on a regular basis. He not only asks them what they learn, but then he challenges what they learn and forces them to think for themselves beyond just the education system. They read books in their spare time. They play only a moderate amount of video games. They're pretty well disciplined. They just follow suit. It's not even like, it's not a matter of punishment or whatever. They're not allowed to play video games. They just don't want to, right? They look at their dad. They see what he's doing. They want to be like him. Every kid wants to be like their parent. They see their dad working all the time. They want to work all the time, right? Be productive. Do things that they enjoy. Create hobbies, all right? So after dinner, Goku still has a few more things to do. He has to go. He spends 2 more hours on the computer. He's up kind of late. He hasn't read that day, and like he forgot that he's enjoying this really good novel, and he really wanted to know what happened next in the next chapter, so he kind of sneaks that in right before he sleeps. His girlfriend's already laying down. She's passed out. She asked him to come to bed 30 minutes ago, but now he's at this really interesting point in the book. He can't stop now, so he flips through and he finishes another chapter. He goes to bed, clocks in about 12:30. And he's going to wake up and do it all over again the next day. The only thing that stays the same for him is really the amount of time that he's spending working, but everything else is variables. Okay? He might not make money from the business next month. He might make money from a different business. He might not be in China. He might be in Japan. He might be in Europe. He might be in Africa. Who knows where he's going? You have no idea. That's the life of Goku. It's a high-risk, high-reward lifestyle versus a low-risk, moderate-reward style. So, you probably know what lifestyle I'm on, what life path I'm pursuing. Let me know what you're pursuing.